I am Nikhil Agrawal.
Myself, Rishu Ranjan.
Hi Nikhil, hi Rishu.
We are currently in pre-final year in computer engineering branch, and this is the podcast from the Alumni Cell. Alumni Cell is the official college body for connecting the alumni with the college and with the students.
Basically, it's a bridge between alumni and the students where we can get connected and solve any problem for the college.
That's a great initiative, I think.
So we would like to start with how was your college life in NIT Kurukshetra?
So while I was visiting the college today, it is quite nostalgic to feel the same when I was actually coming here for the first day. It was pretty exciting, a new world to say. Everything was so new that we had to adjust. We were scared initially, but I think after the first term, pretty much everything went very smooth. We had friends, great bondings, great time, participating in all the events we had. We had tech fest happening, we had cultural fest happening, and then we had all those official and unofficial magazines running. I don't know if they are still, running. So auditioning for those magazines, membership, participating in the events was quite exciting and amazing. I must say it was the best time of my life.
So now we have many clubs in the college for the fest and stuff. So how many clubs were there in your time?
Okay, when I was there in NIT Kurukshetra, I think there was Dramatics Club, MAD Club. I remember I was part of MAD. There was Photography Club.
Right.
There was Arts.
Fine
Arts was there, who usually used to do all the background work. I don't know if it's still going on. Fine Arts was there. Pretty much then there was English Lit and Dub Club. Literature and Debating Club. So I think I remember all these clubs were there, and I'm sure they're still running
there, right.
and doing great.
Yes. Since we know you are electrical engineer, how did you incline towards the oil and gas industry?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Inclination was initially only towards the package because at that time we had two jobs, I think, and two jobs you can take at the mass recruiter level. We had wherein all the IT companies were coming, and then we could take up one dream job, which was, I think, beyond 7-8 lakhs package. Anything offered was a dream job. So I ended up with 3 offers. One was from Wipro, one was from Schneider Electric, and the third one, which was a dream package one, was Bharat Petroleum. So the choice was pretty simple. It was the package.
And what was the biggest challenge you faced from stakeholder management to the oil and the gas sector?
See, what we believe while we are doing our college is that if we are good at our technicals, everything will be handled well. However, the reality is quite different. When you enter a corporate world, the most important thing that you need to have is how you are managing your stakeholders.
Right.
See, everybody is important in the business, and you cannot ignore anyone is the important role in the value chain.
What was the major transformation you have witnessed from past decade in the oil company?
It has been drastic change, I must say. Post-COVID, there has been a significant change because earlier oil and gas was the conventional oil and gas business where you had crude, refine it, sell the products in the market. Pretty simple, backed up by government subsidy, everything. So it was not a tough task. However, post-COVID and especially the Paris Agreement, company and following the government, the company had to take up some targets in terms of climate change. We had taken up the targets in scope 1 and scope 2. So we as a company have decided to go net zero for these 2 scopes by 2040. So we had to take up a lot of initiatives in terms of electric vehicle, in terms of the charging infrastructure, in terms of biofuels. Quite recently we have done really well in hydrogen. We are working as an R&D, we are working in electrolyzers, indigenous electrolyzers. So we are now extensively working, and R&D has been given the major focus for past 4-5 years.
How do you see the role of analyst and BI involving in the oil sectors?
See, it is a mandate. I must say, digital transformation is the thing. Nobody can ignore. No company or no organization can say that I can move ahead without the digital transformation. So that's again the second most important thing apart from moving to alternate energy. I must say BI and analytics is there everywhere in all organizations. Crossing even the boundaries of what sector you are in. I think AI, again, in our own company, we are working extensively on AI. We have chatbots installed. Earlier, when I had joined, there were only bookings through counter staff,
Right, offline
phone
system.
calls, which never used to get connected. I think those things have now been shifted to AI chatbots, where you can just click away, WhatsApp it, and then bookings is done. It's become quite advanced, in terms of usage and digital transformation. We have a team working specifically on digital transformation.
Ma'am, as right now you're leading the R&D projects for EV and renewable energies. So what excites you for that?
Okay, I am quite passionate about EV, I must say. It's because one fine day I started thinking on it and then invested a lot of time learning about it. The world was talking about it, and it excites me. Any challenging work which comes in excites me. So I put in a lot of hard work going through all the literature work, the research that has happened in EV, and through that I've gained knowledge. And then my company had given me the opportunity to interact with the best possible people in that sector. I must say I had the opportunity of speaking to people who are part of the team who have invented lithium-ion battery cells. So it is really amazing and exciting to work in the EV field per se.
As a leader, how you derive efficiency in your business?
See, as a leader, I think
Which adds
there
value
is
to
no
your team.
formula, but it is the team which is important. I must say, more than a leader, the team which works in what synchrony they work is what derives the efficiency of the team. While I'm leading certain teams, I believe it becomes my role to ensure that while they are putting in their 100%, they get the best that they deserve. So I just ensure as a leader that they do not get hurdled by things which falls in my scope. I ensure that is
How do
smooth
you
for
take
them.
tough decisions as a leader?
Okay. Tough decisions as a leader is always about trade-offs. So it depends on the context that I'm taking that decision in. It depends on what is my target at that point of time, and it's always not an easy thing to decide between options that you have. But again, looking at the context and looking at the objective, I decide on that question.
I would like to go backward to your college life. So, as you have mentioned, you packed 3 offers, right? For the students also, as the placement season will be there for us, the final year, pre-final year, and placement is going for the final year also. How did you prepare for placements?
Friends. I think the best people to help you prepare is your friends.
And right.
Just even for the way you prepare for your exams. But I must say, individually, you should be different. You should be standing out. When you're going for your placements, one should think of his passion. What passion drives him? As I earlier said, at that point of time, I think talking of 2009, we were only bothered about the package. But today, with your generation being so smart and accessible to technology, the one thing that should impact your decision is what you're passionate about. Money will follow. So be prepared of what you like doing, and just struggle hard. Initial struggles will help you excel in the later part of your life.
Do you have any college memory, the best memory you'd like
I
to
have all
share
the
with us?
memories.
You'd like to share with us?
I have so many. I really cannot think of one memory, but yes, talking of the placement time only, I remember initially I had decided that I will not be sitting for the mass recruiters, because I was not somebody who was very keen in getting into IT.
We all can relate.
So I decided that I will not sit, and it was the last company, Wipro, and by that time all my batchmates were placed.
Yeah.
And I was under such tremendous pressure. My family was looking and talking to me as if I'm not doing anything. So I think because of that pressure, from the fact that all my teammates, all my batchmates were placed or having one job, I sat for Wipro, and it was hell difficult for me to handle that pressure. But post that, I think after I got one job, I was like, ठीक है, अब pressure नहीं है, we can manage.
Yeah, because you were in electrical branch and Wipro was an IT company. So yeah, it must have been
I was
difficult,
not interested
basically.
in
Right.
IT that time. But I didn't know the future lies
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Yeah, it was my follow-up question. Like, now you compare, you went into the oil and gas industry, and the IT is booming right now. I'm sure more than the oil and gas industry in terms of the initial packages or the future prospects. So, what are your views on it?
See, I still stand by the fact that I'm not interested in that field as a person, because my strengths lie not in coding
Right.
till
IT
date.
field.
But yes, that has become the order of the day. Anybody who's given the option would go for IT, because that's where everything will be working.
Yes.
I still feel that I am somebody who's a quick learner. I can still manage things in IT myself till date, but I will not be able to do coding as such.
So
as
basically,
I-
sitting on a laptop is not your forte.
it's not it's not my forte.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
is there any advice you would like to give to the young professional who wants to get into energy sector? Because right now the energy sectors are booming a little. So any advice?
So my advice would be, if anybody wants to work in the oil and gas sector, there's a lot of work happening in renewables area. It's a new area. Everybody is quite new. Papers are still being written. Research is still being done. India as a country, we are very in the nascent phase of research. So I think it's a right time if somebody wants to really get into energy sector, which will always be, see, oil and gas is the top industry you can be.
Yes.
The top packages are always here, apart from there are few other industries. So I take pride in being the in the country. I'm working in the second largest
Yes.
oil and company, so that's a matter of pride for me. People should start getting into and develop skills. These days it is important that you have technical skills rather than a generalistic master of skills. So I think it is the right time we should get into renewables.
What kind of skills are people can acquire or should acquire for this field?
Skills in the sense, you should be technically skilled enough, knowing the talking about hydrogen, talking
Okay,
about
okay.
EVs. See, there's a lot of work happening in IIT Delhi. There's a lot of work happening in IIT Bombay on in these areas. Carbon capture. These are the areas where people have started working. So if people can get associated with the right kind of people who are working and develop knowledge, because we are facing a dearth of knowledge in these areas. So when we started working as a company, we wanted more knowledgeable people. So we only had IITs, NITs where we can go for. We are collaborating with all these institutes for these areas.
Okay. So, any question?
If you would like to ask.
If you want to share any
So
other
how have
experiences,
things
yeah.
changed? I must say, how do you guys?
Yeah, so there is significant difference or changes in the infrastructural part. Yeah, like there are many boys hostels now and girls hostel as well. So basically, and the academic area is same. We have got new LHC build, lecture hall complex, and the new MCA department for incorporating the MC and MB students as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have even more, I guess, 3-4 more extra branches.
Yeah.
We have many extra
How's the
branches.
informal life going on in terms of how's Coca?
It's pretty good. I mean, we can't compare how was it in your time,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, now we have many options for food or for restaurants sort of outside the
We
college.
have Zomato, Blinkit.
Yeah, we have
Okay,
Zomato.
so
Yeah,
Coca has
tips.
lost its importance maybe.
No, but we still have Cokas out there.
Coca was only the only option for boys. I must say
After
girls
12
were not allowed,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it appeared to us like a
After
different
12,
world.
Cokas is only our option only.
Yes. So amazing, and I wish you all the best
Thank
for
you.
future placements. And I'm sure NIT has developed very good people. We have graduated, and you
Yes,
guys
ma'am.
also will come out with flying colors. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.